welcome to the Joyish Kingdom. In today's video, I want to talk about female creators and why I think they're very, very underrated, especially for the male audience. I think there's a lot of things that watching female content creators can actually benefit you. It's benefited me a lot, especially in the last 6 months after I found a couple female content creators that I really fucked with, and they've taught me so much, and there's a lot of things you can take away from them. As you know, the goal of this channel is to instill the knowledge and confidence it's going to take to navigate this metaverse on your own one day, so if that sounds good to you, leave a like in this video. It helps me out tremendously. Subscribe to the channel for more business and NFT content. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, if you're not, my Discord down below in the description. I really can't help you. That's where all the alpha is dropped. Let's get into it. So I've always watched male content creators because honestly that's just who I found. I didn't like plan it that way, but that's just what happened, and I think that's just how it is. You know, like a lot of girls will watch girl content creators, like black people will watch black content creators, Hispanics watch it. Like that's just how it is for most people. But anyways, there's a few content creators like Tom Bilyeu, Gary V, Alex Hormozy, Graham Stephan. Like a lot of these people have huge followings, have built quite a brand, right, and offer a tremendous amount of value. But what I found is that some of these people have wives, and I didn't really think about like checking it out, I guess, but I basically went to their YouTubes and watched a couple of videos, and I found that these girls are rock stars. They really know their shit, especially like Christian Guzman, Heidi Summers, his wife or girlfriend or whatever. Absolute fucking genius businesswoman. But sometimes people look at her and they're like, oh, that's Christian Guzman's girl. And it's like, no, that's a whole ass human being who's done probably 100 times more than any of us will ever do in our whole lifetimes as far as business. And plus, there's just a different perspective they bring as a girl. You know, when you grow up as a female in the world, that's a totally different experience than growing up as a man. You know, that's just not the same. And so they have a different way of putting things. Also, guys and girls have a feminine and masculine side. And I've seen as I've grown, I've kind of connected more and more with my feminine side. And I just think it's really helpful. It kind of like almost fosters it in a way where you can kind of like relate in some ways that you can't really relate to with a male creator, because they're more of like the male masculine alpha energy or whatever. But there's just a different angle that they bring, and it's really changed the game for me. Like listening to Lisa, I believe is her name, is Alex Hormozy's wife, and then Lisa Bilyeu for Tom Bilyeu's wife, and then Heidi for Christian Guzman. Like, just as fucking helpful, literally. And I don't think they have as big of a following, but I think they're very underrated, and I think they actually bring in something that is, for a lot of people who consume content that's like self-improvement, business, stuff like that, there does hit a point where you've kind of like learned everything. You know, like there's not a whole lot that you can learn from a Gary V podcast after you've listened to him 500 times, in my opinion, unless he's going on a new direction or he's got a new thing. But a lot of times you just kind of hear the same thing over and over again. It's just kind of like porn almost. You just like, you can't get enough and whatever. And so finding good people is always a good thing, but it's kind of hard. You gotta learn all this stuff about this new person. You don't know anything about them. Like, can you trust them? But then like you have this other thing where you're like, oh wait, Lisa is Tom's wife. Like, I kind of know something about her already, and I know the kind of person she probably is if she's married to Tom. And so I was able to draw those lines of like similarities and stuff, and get through a couple YouTube videos with them. And like after 20 minutes, I was like, yo, I just stumbled on a fucking goldmine. This girl's so good. She's so smart. She's so helpful in so many ways that Tom isn't, because he's not her. But also, yeah, in the NFT space, you know, especially that's where I'm mainly in. We talk a lot about the inclusion factor. A lot of girls feel a little bit underrepresented there. They feel a little bit intimidated in there against a lot of guys. So I think anything we can do to kind of broaden the scope of just people in general in this space, especially females, is good. But it's also good for for dudes, like for guys. I know there's a lot of guys who watch this channel. I know there's like a certain toxic masculinity that comes from like a lot of gamers and like TikTok especially, like, oh, girls don't do this, like guys do that. And it's one of the things that's literally not true. It's just straight up bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. But there's a lot of things girls can teach guys if they're willing to learn from it. If you're actually willing to be mature and be a man and actually connect with your feminine side a little bit. It's like a yin and yang thing. You know, every guy has a feminine and a masculine side to them. It's like when you have a girlfriend, right? You cuddle up and you have like your little stupid voice that you do with them. That's like your feminine side a little bit. Like you want to be cared for, you want to be cuddled up and stuff like that. And so every guy has that, whether you like it or not. But yeah, honestly, sometimes I looked at when I was consuming a female content creator's content who's like a esteemed business person or something like that. I almost look at it as like a challenge to kind of, how do I put this? One time I dressed up as a girl at a bar. I wasn't actually a girl. I was dressed up as Thor, but I had a wig, so I basically looked like a girl, especially from behind. And this dude walked up and grabbed my hips behind me, and my heart jumped out of my soul. My soul like just like flew. I was so terrified. I don't even know what I was trying to say. I was so scared because that's never happened to me before. That's not a thing for guys. You don't just get someone behind you to grab their waist, but that's a thing for girls. And I was able to experience that, and that fucking taught me a lot about what it's like to be a girl, and that was pretty terrifying. And I was like, oh my god, I have so much more respect for all girls, not just like being a girl in public and stuff like that, because guys are crazy. And so that's kind of what I mean by that, like to listen to a female content creator and see what they have to offer, you know, just as a different angle. I think it's really helpful. I think it'll take you miles farther than if you don't watch any female content creators. So I hope this reaches the right target audience. I hope I don't get fucking flamed. I hope I said this in the right way, where I was respectful to everybody and I wasn't just like flaming anyone or whatever. But anyways, if you enjoy this video, if you like content like this, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow me. Make sure you leave a like in this video. It does help me out tremendously, more than you know, actually. If you're not following me on Twitter, if you're not, my Discord down below in the description. You're only hurting yourself, fam. All the alpha is dropped there. If you want to get 5 free stocks, use my Webull link. It's a crypto and stocks trading platform made easy for you. Use my link, I get a small kickback. You get 5 free stocks, helps us all out. If you want to see more of me right now, click one of these boxes on the other side of me, and until next time, continue on your voyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video.